Hey guys, I've got the dogs here, and just so you know, Angel hurt her foot right here. So if you see her get up and you see her struggle, that's what's going on. She's healing up a foot injury, so she'll be fine in another couple of days. But for right now, during this shoot, she might get up and limp. So just so you guys know, it's kind of a bummer. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the Prime Elevation speaker. I heard about these back in January of this year, and I've been waiting to hear them ever since then, and they finally released them. They had some cabinet issues that they wanted to get right before they released them, so which is good. I mean, you want them to be very I don't know, they're very good about making sure their product's right before they send them out. And but it's been cool. This whole channel has been great. I'm almost up to 100 videos. My next video will be 100 videos. And I have you guys to thank for that. I mean, if it weren't for my viewers, I wouldn't have the opportunity to review all this stuff. I wouldn't, all this stuff. I mean, becoming an SVS affiliate, being, I wanted to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm already over 1,500. So thank you guys. That is awesome. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It's definitely been fun for me, being able to hear all this stuff that's just really blown my mind, and I don't know, it's been a lot of fun, so I appreciate that. And stay tuned for the 100th video. I might have something interesting in store for you guys, so stay tuned. But back to this speaker. One of the things, or the best thing about this speaker is its versatility. I wasn't unused to the sound, I guess that's a poor way of wording it, but as you can see, I've got some Prime satellites up there for my front height speakers, and so I'm not unfamiliar with the sound that I would expect from the Prime Elevations. I can't hear any major difference in them aside from the angle of orientation. It's angled, so these right here, if these were angled down a little bit, it would be a little bit more of a direct sound, which is the whole idea. It's the way they've designed them. And they've had a lot of thoughtful little design cues, like being able to remove this thing so you can run it this way, this way, this way, any which direction. So that's a thoughtful little thing. And one of the other cool things, I set these up to do 2-channel listening, just so I can get an idea of how the speaker sounded in general. And one thing I noticed was that I set them on top of the PC2000s there. And so for the left speaker, I set it up like this, and I towed them in just like I tow in the towers, okay? You do that to just make them more direct into your listening spot. So it's just one of those things us guys do. Just angle them in so they sound a little bit better. Well, if you mount these on the wall, they're already towed. You know what I mean? You just mount it on the wall. It's already towed to your listening area. And then you flip them over and you mount it for the other way. So, again, another little bit of unexpected versatility that I noticed after trying these out. But I want to show you kind of how I have these set up. I only got one pair, so I didn't get to set up everything exactly the way I wanted it. But I'll show you how I've got it set up. Now, initially, I had this speaker up here. And as you can see, this is my wife's chair here, so she's kind of close to the wall. And this speaks to the greatest thing about this speaker is it's for mixed use rooms. It's phenomenal. And the reason being is mixed use rooms are never ideal for a home theater. They're never perfect. And this is a wonderful example. I can't really pull that chair off that wall because of the layout of the room. It's just not going to work. This is as good as it's going to get for my room. So having these here, not so good. Now, I want these here. Hey, buddy. Here. We got it. It's all right. It's okay. Oh, big tough bear. Anyway, that's the second time, buddy. Second time. But anyway, I want to put these here. And I can't really do that without getting like an angle bracket, and then it makes it stick out. And it's one of those things I'm not going to get good approval from my wife. And I don't blame her. I mean, especially right there, that's our door. It's just not, it just doesn't fit well. But if I take one of these here and then turn it and then set it just under that painting, I think it'll be just right. It'll be further away from her ears. Sometimes when we watch movies, we move forward a little bit, but that thing has just been a little too much for her. So being able to put it over there is just going to solve a lot of problems for me. And I got some other issues on the other side of the room and whatnot. But one thing I want to point out is when I had this mounted up here and I watched some movies with it, the height effect was washed out because they were too close together. So the lower you can get this speaker, which is why I want to get it over here, the better the separation is. And so the better the Atmos effect, the better, the more you can pick it out, so to speak. And the other thing is you can mount these on the ceiling, which I'm not opposed to doing. Just for me, I want to make sure I want to do that before I go, poking holes in the ceiling. I mean, poking holes, I'm talking just screw holes. These, you don't have to like saw out a piece of drywall like you would have to do with an in-ceiling speaker. But you can mount these on the ceiling, and I might do that, but I want to be really sure before I do, because running the wires through the attic and all that stuff, that's going to be involved. So, but I do like the effects of them just mounted like that, because it's working out. I've watched San Andreas, which is an actual Atmos 3D movie. Oh, and by the way, that's where I'm running the PB2000. I'm running the 4-sub setup. I've got another one over here. And so I'm running basically the PB2000's near field. And so that's another video altogether. But anyway, watching those movies, it was pretty cool. The effects were great. I'll say that my best experience so far with having the elevated speakers has been watching Poltergeist 2, of all things. That's an older movie, and that is definitely not Atmos, but the system, did the conversion, and I gotta say, it was convincing. The chainsaw came over the top of the car, and I was just like, wow, that was convincing. It felt like you were in the car when that chainsaw went over the top of you. So that was very cool. So I'm liking the speakers. Not a great surprise because there's not a great variant from them and the Prime satellites. It's mostly the orientation issues and the fact that they designed the tweeter specifically to be mounted in any direction. So you can lay them on the floor if you want and have them up firing to be able to get... it's just all about versatility, I think, is the best thing about these speakers. The mounting bracket's cool. Let me show you this mounting bracket. Just bolts on with one screw, and then it's got 4 screws on the bracket that goes on the wall. And you just want to make sure to get at least 2 of the screws in a stud, if you can. If you are in a situation where you have to get, where you have to mount it completely drywall, the stuff they supply from SVS is good, but I would considering stepping up and getting some heavier duty hardware from like Home Depot or something like that. That's rated. If you get like a wall anchor that's rated for say 25 pounds for each screw. These are under 10 pounds a piece easy, so you'll be real secure in that situation. But generally, try and get it on a stud if you're going to mount them like that. But and I'll also show you. See, I've got this I can show you right here. These come in all types of different things. But there's the mounting system. And as you can see, it just kind of sets in there. And let me see if I can zoom in for you. That's the mounting bracket. So it's pretty cool. You just mount at least one side on a stud. Just one side. Whichever 2 screws you can get into a stud, do that, and then do the drywall anchors on the other side. Pretty simple. They give you a template, which is very thoughtful. Check both sides to see which side you're going to use, because it's 2 different sides accomplish 2 different things. So remember that. But it's also got like this foam. It doesn't show it here, but it's got this foam for the handshake, and it's this tacky, not sticky, but it sets in there real snug, so there's no rattles or anything. So it doesn't show that in this picture, but there's like this foam on the mounting surface, and it's real good. I like it. So anyway, the speaker itself, I mean, there's the white version, you know, so you got all kinds of options. There's a piano glass, so I'm digging these, and for me, you know, with SVS, it's low cost, high quality speakers. It's high end, but it's not high end pricing. So they don't play around. The magnets in these things are big. These speakers, they feel like a brick. I mean, they are heavy. They're not messing around with them. And so I've enjoyed them. Honestly, for me, you know, would I actually buy these? I probably actually will buy these. I'm probably going to get them for all of my surround duties because, again, I pointed out over here, I need them for that orientation, the surrounds or the height speakers, all of that. So basically for all of my surround duties, I do want to use the elevations. They're good. They're very good. And the other thing you can use these for, you know, mount them on the ceiling, of course, but the RO3D, which is, you know, you've got three object-based formats. You got Atmos, DTSX, and then you've got RO3D. Now, I haven't done the upgrade on the Denon for the RO3D yet, but I am intrigued because it's got the Voice of God option, which is basically a top dead center. It's basically like a center channel for your ceiling. So it's kind of cool. And you can, you know, you can use one of these, and unless you're right under where you intend to mount that option, you can mount one of these and angle it down towards you. And Gary Eucubian, he's got his home theater up on the SVS website. I'll put a link to that down below as well, and you can check it out. He's using them as ceiling speakers. And I think that's probably the most optimum way to use these in the Atmos and object-based formats. But you know, if height is all you can do, it's a cool effect. So anyway, if you're familiar with SVS, you know, there's free shipping. Even if you send it back, even if you don't like it, you have 45 days to check it out. You've got the 1-year upgrade and a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty on these things. So you know, SVS has the Bill of Rights, which is awesome. But one caveat to that, if you buy them from a retail location, the Bill of Rights may not apply in the same way, or, you know, different things. So the best way to get SVS stuff is directly from SVS themselves. So keep that in mind. But as far as listening with these things, I've set them, I like to cross them over at about 110 to 120, somewhere over 100. And that's not to say anything, you know, bad about the speakers or that they won't go lower. They will. I've run them at crossed over at 80 hertz. They sound good. But for me, even I run these towers that are rated for 32 hertz. I run those between 80 and 90 hertz. I kind of go back and forth with them. So I like to give a little bit more of the bass duties to the subs. And they're just better at it. You know, they're going to be better at producing the lower frequencies. That's kind of the whole point. And I don't view it so much as what you're taking away from the speaker, but what you're adding to your subs. And particularly when you're running a multi-sub setup, your issues with, localization go away. So it really doesn't matter. I've actually run these towers as high as, I just messing around, I ran them as high as 200 hertz. And, you know, yeah, you're starting to miss out on some stuff there, but it still sounded really good. So, but that's with a multi-sub setup. That's properly calibrated and all that good stuff. But, you know, people look at crossovers as what you're taking away from the speakers. I look at what you're adding to the subwoofers. And again, there is no right and wrong necessarily when it comes to crossover setup and all that. But with these in particular, anyway, I run these, like I said, around 110 hertz. And it seems to just be the sweet spot for what I like. But very good speakers. Again, I'm not unfamiliar with the sound. I mean, they're real similar to the satellites. But I really like them. I think they're a great speaker. And again, I think I'll end up buying quite a few of them to fix my home theater problems. So if that says anything. But anyway, guys, I hope you like this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys are running these yet. And also, pay attention for my next video. It may be a week away or a week delayed because it is the 100th video, but I do have something interesting planned for that. So pay attention to that. And thank you again, guys. All the subscriptions. It's awesome. I hope to get above 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm already well over 1,500, so I appreciate that. And it means a lot to me. And I know this channel isn't the most exciting channel on the planet, but I'm doing what I can. I've got some health issues. If you can tell in my voice, I'm kind of running out of steam at the moment. But I do what I can, and I appreciate the support I get. It's phenomenal. So thank you guys, and if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.